questions, guys. I'll give you a last question reminder again.
Noah, what prompted the haircut?
Well, my mom actually didn't know I was gonna do it. To be honest, I just wanted a fresh kind of start. I wanted to do it mid-season last year, but it's part of my superstitions. I didn't wanna do it during the season, so decided to finish the job with the braids, and then as soon as I got back to Tucson after break, I cut it. So we wanted to do it for a while, and no regrets.
Why the fresh start, considering you had a really good year last year?
Oh, personally, I just wanted.
Sure.
I was over all the process to keep my hair looking good, and the shampoo part, and then having to braid it every week. So it takes away an hour of my process. Another hour I get to study game plans and film.
So I think this is definitely the first time that you've had the same offensive coordinator the following spring after being the starter. How was it in high school too? Did you have a bunch of turnover at offensive play caller?
Yeah, I had one offensive coordinator my first 2 years, and then another offensive coordinator my the last 2 years. So definitely have a lot of offenses in my brain, but the steadiness is amazing. But I mean, just being able to have a second year in the scheme is amazing, but more importantly, having a second year with Coach Daggy, the person, the coach he is, I'm extremely grateful.
Since you've arrived in Tucson, where do you think you've made the most improvements, and what are you still looking to improve?
I think my leadership's grown in my own way, and I think I give Coach Daggy and Coach Brand a lot of credit for that, because they've kind of pushed me into that leadership role, but they've allowed me to do it my own way. And I think Coach Daggy is in particular kind of showed me how to do it his kind of way, and I've been able to branch off and kind of do my own. I'm not an extremely vocal guy, and I don't have as much passion, at least in my voice, that Coach Daggy has, but I've been able to steal a couple things that he does extremely well. I think he's one of the best leaders I've ever been around, so I think he's definitely helped in that aspect.
With guys like Gio, Brandon, Isaiah, the guy that maybe didn't get too much play time, or how much of a leap do you see them taking this year? And I don't know if you work with them during the off season, but just like assess how they play, how they are.
Yeah, they've taken a huge leap for sure. But I mean, if you go back and watch, at least if you watch the beginning of the year, Mizell and Phelps started that first game, where they played a lot of that game. So and then you go to the back end of the year, and Gio's one of our most productive guys. So they have taken a big leap, but they were so good last year that they're going to be spectacular this year. But just to speak on those guys, Isaiah Mizell, he's probably one of the best guys you'd ever be around. He's awesome to be around. He has that contagious personality, and then on the field, there's no one that can run with him. So he brings a threat in that aspect that is special. Then you talk about Phelps, who scored a touchdown against Weber State last year, but and I always joke with Phelps, statistically he's the greatest high school receiver in Arizona history. So in high school at least, so he has that confidence, and then he has speed, he has strength that you wouldn't necessarily think he has, but he's extremely smart, he works extremely hard, and I think if you ask anybody, he's probably the hardest worker in the winter, and I think his statistics show that, as well as everybody's opinion. And then you talk about Gio Richardson, another person who you just love to be around, but I think I could go on and on about Gio and the type of person he is, the type of player he is, but if somebody had to ask me who you think is going to break out this year, I would go Gio Richardson.
And then with those guys, and then the guys that you brought in through the transfer portal and the recruiting cycle, what do you think about just the collection of receivers that you have, and then how do you go about establishing that relationship with those guys?
Yeah, I think a lot of people would say I say the same thing every year, and to be honest, people probably think that I'm delusional, but I would go on to say that this is probably the best receiver I've had from a depth standpoint. You talk about your top guys that we get back: Gio Richardson, Trey Spivey, Chris Hunter. Then you go to the Isaiah Mizell, Brandon Phelps that we just talked about. You talk about the guys we bring in: Ronnie Gallagher from West Virginia, DJ Jordan from USC, Jordan Ross. You can just go on, as well as the freshmen that we brought in Jet and RJ. I mean, Coach Bobby and Coach Daggy did their thing, reamping that room. You have speed, you have size, you have route running, but more importantly, the relationships that they have with each other. It's rare, because receiver rooms, there's only one football, and there's 4 receivers on the field, 3 receivers. So to be able to have this, the selflessness and the genuine excitement for each other is special.
And then going back to your relationship with Steph, from the time that he was hired to now, how would you describe the relationship that you guys have been able to build, and how do you think that sets you up for your last year?
It's grown so much, and that's like my big brother. I trust him with so much. He's someone that you could just go have a meal with. You can talk to. I love his family. Abby's amazing. Little Layton, she's amazing. So it's just the relationship we've been able to build outside of the facility. There's a love and there's a trust there that makes the game so much more fun. Obviously, he's such a smart guy. He's probably the smartest guy I've ever been around when it comes to schematics, and he has no ego. He's willing to make his offense the best offense that it could possibly be schematically. So the talks that we have in terms of scheme, the talks we have in terms of family and on a personal level is special.
And do you feel like him returning, a lot of the guys, they've been there, they've done that, they know the offense, so it's not as, I guess, crazy as it was last year?
For sure. And I think he knows, in the back of his mind, he knows that we have a great grasp on his offense, so he's been able to switch things up and still keep us on our toes. But I think you talk about both sides, Coach Deggy and Coach G. There's proof in the pudding. There's proof that the scheme works. There's proof that these guys are the best at what they do. So the trust and the trust in their coaching comes with that.
How would you say that's like impacted your mindset this year that you don't have that turnover again?
Yeah, I've been able to play more confident. I've been able to play faster. Guys today were telling me that the ball is getting out super fast, and to be honest, I didn't really realize that. Just playing in the offense, playing in the scheme, trusting Coach Deggy's coaching points allows you to play free, and at the end of the day, the scheme just works. He's probably the greatest person in the country when it comes to pass game. Like his knowledge of the game, his knowledge of his ability to put routes together, but also time it up with quarterback's feet, and then he also knows mechanics. Like the guy's special.
Coach Brennan mentioned that you've continued to choose Arizona over and over again. What do you think your legacy would be here, and what does Arizona mean to you?
I love Arizona, man. There's a reason I've chosen. We've chosen it as a team. This day and age, the transfer portal is real for players and for coaches at the end of the day. So everybody, you could probably go to the locker room, everybody's had an opportunity to leave, and everybody's either chosen to come here or chosen to stay here. So it's not just about me, it's about this team, the coaching staff, and the players. But what we have is special, what Coach Brennan's been able to build is special. And my legacy, I want the legacy to be a Big 12 championship in a row.
As a quarterback, what was it like going up against Danny Gonzalez's defense, and then what do you think about just the guys that played over?
I think Danny Gonzalez is one of the smartest minds that you'll ever see, and I've told a lot of the media last year. I might sound like a broken record, but I truly thought that he was the best coordinator in the conference and in the country last year, and the stats show that. I mean, Coach Deggy always says to be a great offense, you have to have a great defense, and that's what we have, which gives us the ability to reach all the goals we want to reach offensively. But you talk about Coach G and what he's been able to do on that side of the ball, the belief that the guys have in him. They talk about him the way I talk about Coach Deggy. So the culture that we have in our building is rare and it's real.
And is this the first time you've ever been teammates with Dash?
Yes, it is.
How's that been?
It's a blessing. It's a blessing for sure. We prayed about it, we talked about it growing up, we dreamed about it, but you never thought it could be a reality. So that just shows the power of our God. It shows what faith is able to do for you. If you believe in things and if you speak it, you pray about it, anything's possible. So I love having him around. It's been amazing. I spent probably every hour of every day with him the last 3 months. So it's everything I could have dreamt of.
How's he settling in?
Great. I can't talk about the football side. But he did great in winter workouts. He's been great at the house. That's my trash guy. So he gets to take out all the trash every day, every time I need him to. So I love having him around. Been able to golf with him twice a week for pretty much all year. We haven't got any better, but it's been great being with him.
And then your parents have done a lot of traveling over the last few years. I'm sure they're very happy about being able to just go to one place to see you guys. Can you tell us about just your parents and how they've been able to manage both you and Dash playing football?
Yeah, my parents are amazing. I'm super blessed, and that comes from my grandparents. They're the root of our family. They make everything go. But just to speak on my parents and my family in general, they would go to Dash's game Friday nights, and then they would drive up Friday night right after the game and fly to the away games to catch us Saturday morning. And then my dad runs a youth football program that he coached my little cousin on 9U, so they would fly back Sunday and coach there. So the weekends were long. They're still going to be long considering my coach, or considering they're still coaching my little cousin. But I know they're happy that me and my little brother are playing with each other. They're both here right now, and my mom cried on the way in. So I love my parents, and I love my family.
What does your summer look like? Are you doing Manning Passing Academy, or are you doing any other stuff?
Yeah, most likely. I gotta figure out the logistics with that, but most likely.
Okay. And then considering this is your last year, how do you just kind of look ahead to the next year for you here at Arizona?
Yeah, be where you feel. That's a big thing for us. That's a big thing for me. So focusing on what is here right here and now, having the best spring ball possible to put us in a position to have a great summer, have a fall camp, and eventually reach our goal of a Rose Bowl. So that's the standard that we live by in everything that we do.
And then how's it been having Zach Henning come in? I mean, he's a guy that's competed for one of those center spots. 3 different centers in as many years. How is he settling in, and how have you gone about establishing that relationship with him? What do you think about the other one?
Zach's awesome, and I told him when I was back home when he came on his official visit, but I talked to him over the phone. And I saw the pictures going around on social media, and I told him, I'm like, you look scary. Like I didn't know how I was gonna be building a relationship with you, but as soon as we got here, he's super. He's a great guy, and obviously on the field he's had a lot of success, and he's a smart guy because he's been able to play in 2 systems with Coach DeBoer and Coach Fish. So we have a lot in common. We've golfed a lot with each other. He's probably the best golfer on the team. Like seeing his swing naturally, he's probably the best golfer on the team. So we've been able to connect in that aspect. But I love the guy. He's been awesome, and I can't wait to continue to build with him.
Well, how do you guys bond off the field? Is golf the number one thing?
Me and him?
Or you and him, or just the team in general?
Yeah, probably me and him is probably golf, but for the team, it's cool because everybody just wants to be around each other. Even if that's just eating, we go out to eat, or I'll bring some of the position groups to the house and we'll just hang out. Just little things. We went bowling with the receivers, like just little things. Everybody kind of has their own interests, but we've definitely spent a lot of time with each other. And I've had a lot of fun with this team already.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.